All right, what's up, guys? Okay, today sports media. Me and Garrett here. We're gonna start record predictions, basically for the NFL season right here, 2023 to 2024 NFL season. Uh, we thought about doing it by team, and we're like, dude, that's a lot of teams. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do it by division. And what we'll do is basically like Garrett has the Baltimore Ravens right here. We're going to pick what we think is going to win. What do they think we're going to win? After that division, we're like, well, is this win total too high? Maybe adjust some things here and there. But basically, at the end of the day, we're going to try to get the division's win-loss record here for them. Garrett, I didn't even really introduce you. I just started talking because I was like, well, I'm hosting. I'm the star of the show right now. Sorry,
Listen,
Garrett.
you're always the star apparently.
I
I'm running the StreamYard, so I'm just kind of the lackey here. You just hit the ground running, and we're all good to
Well, no,
go.
you're in this with me. We're in this together.
That is true. That
Like,
is true.
because even though we think a lot alike, we don't always agree on some shit. So this will be good. Hopefully we can reach a consensus on what we think a good win-loss record for each division. We're not gonna do all the divisions. I'm sorry, I didn't want to. Let me clarify. We're not doing all the divisions. This is just AFC North. AFC North. We just kind of to me this is the best division in football right now. I feel like this is probably the most competitive division. We felt like it's a good one to start off. Garrett, your team is in this division, unfortunately, right? This is a
Listen, you're telling me this division is brutal. The AFC in general this year is going to be absurd, but this division in particular is going to be whoever comes out of this division as the AFC North champ in the regular season they might have a good shot to get to the Super Bowl this year.
before we go win-loss records. Just before we even get into that, do you think AFC North have they lock up all three wild card, or is someone gonna get their heart broken here?
I think someone's going to get their heart broken out of this
Yeah.
division this year. I just because they thought the same thing going into last year with the AFC West, and obviously, like nobody was going to know that the Denver Broncos were going to fall apart like they did. But I think I have a hard time believing that three teams from the same division is going to come out and steal all the wild cards.
I'm just glad you just said the Broncos and not the Raiders, because that's why I turned away. I didn't really want to be part of that
Hey,
conversation because
listen, listen. I had your back last offseason. I thought they were going to finish second in the division. I was with the Raiders fans last offseason.
yeah,
I was
you've been
riding with you
around me too
guys.
much. That's why I'm too delusional, and then I start feeding you, and you're like, and then I start feeding again. I start
That
planting
that
seeds
that that's probably what it is.
again. Anyway, let's get into the AFC North. Garrett has the Baltimore Ravens already pulled up, so we're gonna start with this. Fuck this first one. Ravens and Texans. I don't know. This one's tough. This one is no, it's the Ravens. However,
It has to be.
uh, Texans, we're gonna give you some love here. Okay, me and Garrett both love you guys. If we're betting against the spread, I think the Texans are gonna surprise. I think the Texans are probably cover what there's 18, 17 games. I think they cover at least 12 spreads. Like, I don't think that's crazy. I think they're going to be nasty. So, I mean, one of my lock-in picks right now is the Texans against the spread. But yeah, Ravens start out the season 1-0. Good for them. All right, let's see. Week 2, we got Ravens and Bengals. All right. Well, naturally, this is where I would go Bengals. Bengals are the home team. However, Joe Burrow just got a calf strain, right?
Cow strain. He strained his
Calf
cow.
strain. He got a calf strain. He
I'm
he got a
strained.
calf strain, right? So, do we think Joe Burrow is back for week 2? I don't know how serious it is. It didn't look good on video, but it's good that it was only a calf strain. I just
So, I mean, I guess in theory, this is what 6 weeks away from week two. No, that's not right at all because we're still like 50 days away from regular season football. So we're probably
7 weeks.
50. We're yeah, we're like 7 weeks or so from week two up to this point. I would imagine Burrow's back. Like he may not be at 100%, obviously, but I mean, 85% Joe Burrow is better than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. So we got to go with the Bengals on this. Bengals are the home team. I feel like even though it's division game, usually division games, it's always a toss up. But I always like to go home team against division games. Let's
For,
see. Go ahead.
real quick, for those that are curious, for the covering darlings that are the Houston Texans, as of right now, per DraftKings Sportsbook, they are plus 9.5. week 1
Yeah.
against Baltimore, and I would take that in a heartbeat.
I think the Texans are going to surprise a lot of people. They're not. Don't get me wrong. They're not a good football team
Right
yet,
now.
but I mean they're doing not a bad job. They're building a good roster. CJ Stroud will help out a lot with that, but they're not going to be bad, and I think they're going to cover a lot of games. Not a good record, but cover a lot of games. All right, we got Ravens and Colts. I feel like we got to go Ravens here.
This does seem like a Ravens pick. I think the biggest intrigue entering this game is going to be if Anthony Richardson doesn't start the season as the week 1 starter, does he already win the job by week 3? There's been talk that he might win the job, or he might take over the job come their bye week, which offhand I don't know what their bye week is. But I mean, he's apparently been playing pretty well in OTAs and the start of training camp. So I mean, I don't think it'd be too far fetched, but I don't think even if Richardson is starting, I don't think it makes a difference here at least.
It's Gardner Minshew, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So either way, you're either getting Gardner Minshew, who's kind of ran out of Minshew magic. He was, that story, but I think AR would be just too green by week 3 to really the Ravens aren't a bad team as much as Trey used to. I don't know if he still associates himself. He said he hasn't, but
I don't know if he's officially turned in his fan card or not. He's been threatening to do it for years.
He said he did, but he hasn't picked a new team yet, and I don't know where he is at that. So I don't know. So what we got? We got so far we're 2-1. Not a bad start for the Ravens. Week 4, this is where it starts getting interesting. Week 5, this gets interesting. Okay, Week 4, Ravens and Browns. I'm higher on the Browns than a lot of people. Even though, and I'm just talking strictly football, I don't want to get into the Deshaun Watson mess because that is a mess of, whatever. But as looking at it purely football, the Browns aren't a bad team. It was obvious that Deshaun Watson was very rusty, or he just doesn't have it anymore. I lean forward to the former. I think he's just rusty. I think a full offseason with a talented team. I don't know. I do think the Ravens split. I think the Ravens split all their division games. And I don't think that's crazy. I think those are all super competitive games, and I'm okay giving it to the home team for all division games because I just think the home team usually wins. It's either those. So I'm going to give them the Browns, but spoiler alert, I'm going to give the Ravens the next one right here. And same thing with the Steelers. I think the Steelers, and Garrett, you could give more analysis on this, but the only thing that really I don't like about the Steelers is Matt Canada. I saw his play calling last year, and you being my best friend and you're a Steelers fan, avid Steelers fan, I keep up with the Steelers here and there, and I cannot stand the way this guy calls the game. So
if you think it's rough to watch without being a Steelers fan, imagine what it's like being a Steelers fan watching a Matt Canada-led offense. It's just, I mean, it's like you're watching your puppy get kicked for 3 hours every single Sunday. It's miserable. It's just an experience you don't want anyone to go through. I think that this team has made a lot of steps in the right direction. I think they had a fantastic offseason. I think them signing 2 really solid guards who should push for starting positions right away, trading up and stealing Broderick Jones at 14. I think a full offseason training camp with Kenny Pickett as the bona fide QB1, and then development from guys like George Pickens, maybe seeing someone like Calvin Austin in the mix, maybe in a slot, or maybe like a gadget guy, kind of what's similar to Chase Claypool was his rookie year, where they run the sweeps and let him just run loose, because Calvin Austin has blazing speed. That cat is fast. And then you can't forget about the defense. The defense they were fine last year. The issue was J.J. Watt missed a decent amount of time, but you had someone like Alex Highsmith step up and get double-digit sacks. So I think with a fully healthy J.J. Watt with Alex Highsmith on the other edge, this team should be much more competitive than what they were last year. But I do agree that I think that they at least split Cleveland and Pittsburgh for sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, and it looks shaky right now. It's 2-3, but like I said, this is the most competitive division to me. I don't know how everyone, but I think this is the most competitive division in the NFL. and you have three. You already have three division games, which obviously could go the other way. The Ravens could win all three of those games as well, and lose at home. I put it split because when I look at division games, I'm like, if they're really good teams going against each other, I think the safest thing is to go to split. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give them the split here, but I think things get a lot better after really looking at their schedule here.
I was just about to say their schedule really lights up after these divisional games because week 6 through week 9 are some very winnable games for Baltimore.
Yeah. Why did DeAndre Hopkins go to the Titans? I still don't understand.
This only shows that he doesn't care about winning. It was a money grab. That's the only answer I could think of. He doesn't care about winning because if he cared about winning, he would have taken a team-friendly deal to go play in like Baltimore. Or imagine, and I know you'd hate this. But imagine DeAndre Hopkins in a Kansas City Chiefs jersey. Like
Why
if
are
you
we
want
talking
to
about the Chiefs
win,
already? We just don't have to.
if you want to win, those are the teams you go to. You don't go to Tennessee. They're not even winning their division this year. They might not even finish second in their division this year.
I think that he should have went to the Bills. I felt like that was the best
outcome. I agree.
I think that was the best outcome from him because he was going to get plenty of looks, and the best outcome for the Bills because they have their wide receiver 2. Maybe even some weeks wide receiver 1 when, Diggs is, not having a good game or whatever. I mean, it's like who do you guard when you have Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins? But now you have Tannehill, Will Levis, or Malik Willis throwing you the ball, and that's just, I don't know. That team is not good. So we're going to give this one to the Ravens. The Ravens earned it right here. I'm actually curious now that we're almost halfway through their schedule, but I'm kind of curious about how Lamar Jackson plays. And Trey's been heavily criticized Lamar Jackson. I've been kind of on that boat as well. As far as purely from a quarterback standpoint, I think he can play football right here. I think his ability as a runner right there, but I've always kind of criticized his ability as a passer. And, although I criticize him as a passer, it's just like, well, what wide receiver help have they really given him? You know what I'm saying? At the same time. So, yeah, I can say, well, he's not very good at throwing the ball, but he doesn't have a lot to throw him to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to give and take. I can still criticize it, but I'm like, well, have we seen the best that he can do throwing the ball? So now they did that. They have still Rashad Bateman. They got Zay Flowers. They drafted Zay Flowers. They got Odell Beckham, who may or may not still have it, might be on the little bit side of wash, even though the last time we saw him was in the Rams Super Bowl right there. And where he was.
And let's not forget, if he would have stayed healthy, OBJ probably was winning Super Bowl MVP.
Exactly. So, there was doubts about Odell's production before he joined the Rams. And then when he went to, and then, he obviously started doing work. And so now it's like, is he back to form? How well does he come back from injury? I feel like I'm missing another wide receiver there, but I can't think of him right now. But, I mean, that's a better wide receiver core than he's had in the past.
So yes, they've definitely made significant upgrades to that room.
So the spotlight is on him now. He talked all the, like he, there's criticism as him as a passer, but he's like, well, I don't have wide receiver help. Finally got paid. So now he's got to earn his contract. He's got wide receiver help. So it's like the spotlight's on you to perform, and like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards are now back fully healthy, I believe. I think Gus Edwards is fully back healthy too. So he's got running back help as well right there. I mean, the defense is still pretty decent right here. So all the chips are in. So it's your time to shine. So that's another thing I want to watch out here for. And I think, criticism through these first 5 weeks might be heavy if they start out 2-3, but I think just overall his production this year is going to be very important to look at. So, but yeah, going back week 6, we're going to give it to the Ravens. I'm gonna let you pick week 7 because I know you're a big Lions guy now.
I jumped on the wagon last year. I jumped on early, and it was a good ride all the way to the end. I think here's what I'll say. I think the biggest X factor going into this game is going to be the returning Jameson Williams. As we know, he's suspended the first 6 games for his gambling thing he got caught with in the offseason. This is going to be his first eligible game. Baltimore doesn't entirely have somebody on their roster who can match his speed in practice. You can gauge just how fast this cat is when you're playing like a practice squad defense. So they might not be 100% ready for a fully healthy Jameson Williams in his first game to just take the top off constantly and let guys like Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta cook inside the middle. And then with the defensive upgrades they attempted to make this offseason, some of them questionable, some of them not. I think that this should be a game where I would take the over on this game. I think this is a game where you're looking at like a 34-31. I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I think Baltimore squeaks it out only because of home field advantage and maybe just the upgrade in coaching. I would rather have Harbaugh over Dan Campbell, who I love Dan Campbell, but I think Harbaugh's proven he's a proven winner and he's going to get the most out of his guys. I think I would give the edge to Baltimore, but I wouldn't entirely be stunned if Detroit went into Baltimore and stole a win. They'll at least cover. They'll cover the spread.
And this is the beauty of this right here, Garrett. So we're gonna go through this, right, the schedule. But if we're like, let's say these are the only 3 games that the Ravens lose, and we're like, well, are they really a 14-3 team? Then we're looking at these maybes, right? So now we're looking at this Lion and Ravens game. We're like, well, maybe the Lions actually squeak this out. So now we're gonna get like, and kind of feel like, I feel like the Ravens. So this is a good one to put a pin in. We're gonna put a pin in this one. We're gonna give it to the Ravens right now. But when we get to the win and loss thing at the end, we're like, is this really the team we're looking at? So
right.
But week 7, we'll keep that in mind. Week 8, Ravens. Cardinals suck. They're actually looking at Caleb Williams. I'm actually a scout for them. I just saw it. I've already scouted half of their games, and I don't do anything. Week 9, this is another good game. I'm a little bit higher on the Seahawks. I know a lot of people like the 49ers, but I think actually the Seahawks are not a bad squad. And I have criticisms of Geno Smith. I don't think he's going to be the same quarterback as he is going to be or as he was last year. However, I think this is actually another good game where the Ravens might be able they might give this game up. I think the Seahawks have to win that game, if that makes sense. Like they have to go out. They got to go to their home. They got to win that game. I don't think this is the game that the Ravens have to win, obviously. So this is another good one that we can keep a pin in. I'm gonna go Ravens. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Go Seahawks. I feel like we've been giving too many wins to the Ravens right now. Let's go Seahawks.
I think this is what their first home loss of this is their first home loss of the year. I think this Seattle defense is no joke.
No,
and
it's
then
nasty.
If Devin Witherspoon lives up to his lofty expectations as the 5th overall pick in the draft and he turns into a dude, that secondary is disgusting. And I think that the defense is going to be able to put clamps on this Baltimore offense. And this is a game that you're going to want to take the under on because Baltimore also has a pretty decent defense as well. Baltimore really just has to contend with their run game and maybe with some short game passing, especially if rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba is really starting to cook this far into the year. They're really going to want to get involved with the offense out of the slot. They're just going to have to watch the middle of the field. This is a game where you're going to want to take the under. I think this is a very losable game for Baltimore, and they kind of fall into a lull here almost and just let this one slip by.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're in trouble. Before that point they were 5-3. Now they're 5-4 after.
Yeah, they're 5-4. 5-4 through 9
weeks. So that's not horrible for them right now, And let's keep it pushing. Let's see what we got here. What's this next one? Week 10. Well, we gave Week 10 and Week 11. We gave them to the Browns and Bengals. We'll go ahead and give these because I said they will split right here. What is the red? I see the blue one. I guess the red one means
a mini bye week. It's a mini bye week. So if you see, they play on Thursday and then they have the long break to Sunday. Whereas like this one, they're coming off of bye.
Oh man, okay. Um, let's see. This is the rest of their schedule. Okay, do me a favor. Go to Steelers. No, give the Ravens that one. The last one. I'm trying to. No, no. Yep, right here. Yep. Let's do that. Because week 12 I'm iffy about. Let's go week 14. I think the Ravens win that because I don't think the Rams are very good.
Week
Okay.
15, Jacksonville beats Baltimore.
I'm with Jacksonville on that. I'm with Jacksonville. I
They
think.
also dropped the Monday Nighter to San Francisco.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
With perfect health, obviously, which is a big if for this 49ers team, especially Christian McCaffrey, if fully healthy, I don't think there's many teams in the NFL who hang with San Francisco, and I don't think Baltimore is one of them. This is a definitely hammer the under game. Baltimore covers the spread. It's like a 16-13, 13-10 kind of game.
Yeah. Under 20 points both ways.
Yes.
All right. I'm with it. I might yeah, go with that. I'll go Dolphins at week 17. I'm with it. No, I think the Dolphins can play. I think they'll be all right. And it really depends if Tua's healthy. But you got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. Their defense is
The
good.
defense should be a lot better.
It is. I'm with them. I'm with the Dolphins. I think they got a
I
bad
don't
rap.
hate that.
No, I think it's the Dolphins there. What are we looking at here?
Our last game of the year, we gotta get back to week 12.
For sure. Well, what's the
I
record
think
at though? I need to see. I gotta see what the record's at.
9-7.
9-7. I gotta go 10-7. I gotta go 10-7 with the Ravens. I feel like not giving them 10 wins would be.
This is a very winnable game against the Chargers on the road, but they're coming off of the extended break, like we mentioned before. This is a game that Los Angeles could very easily drop with a well-rested Baltimore team.
Yeah, I'm with it. And of course, guys, if this wasn't obvious, this is barring no injuries, really. This is full health. Everyone's playing. Of course, that doesn't always happen in the NFL season. And these are just kind of win-loss projections right there. Garrett, the good thing is I'm good with 10-7. I don't feel like we need to change anything. I feel like that's
I think that's a respectable. I think it's a
AFC.
respectable record this year.
I think that's a really that's a good 10-7 in a tough AFC North division. I think we'll see if who fares out top to bottom for the AFC North. But week 1, I'm going Joe Burrow. I gotta go Joe Burrow. I can't bet against Joe Burrow. I know.
I don't think I can go Cincinnati here because I'm not confident that Joe Burrow will be 100%. I'm not confident, especially if Deshaun Watson, like you alluded to it earlier, that he looked really, really poor at the end of the season last year when he took back the starting job. With a full offseason under his belt, with a full training camp, he should look maybe not obviously the Deshaun Watson of old in Houston when he was a top 5 fantasy quarterback year in and year out consistently, but he should be returning back to that form. And now if Burrow is completely healthy, then we have a conversation. We might be both picking Cincinnati here, but I can't confidently pick Cincinnati in the spot right now just off of what happened yesterday with Burrow's calves.
What do you think? He's about 70%. Do you think that's where he's at
going into week 1? Yeah. Roughly, but he's a baller. He's gonna want to go out there and play even if he's 50%. So he's gonna be on the field week 1. I don't have the confidence in the rest of that roster to beat someone like Cleveland on the road week 1.
Okay, that's fine. I'm with it. We can both agree though right now before we even pick out the rest of the schedule that the Bengals are probably the top team in this AFC North.
Yes.
Okay. So
I don't think that's debatable at all.
So we know that a threshold for us has to be above 10-7. They have to be. They have to be better than the Ravens.
The issue is we don't know how long this recovery process is going to look like for Burrow, and if he doesn't enter the season 100%, he's going to start taking hits. He's going to need to scramble out of the pocket. what happens is obviously we're going off of what is now, right? So like I can't be like, oh, what if he scrambles out of the pocket and pops that calf again and he strains it again? That's not fair to predict in this ranking. I just think that you have to take into account the fact that he's not going to be entering the season 100%. I don't think at any point during the season he's going to be 100%.
Okay.
I think that's just something to think of in the back of the head.
Okay, I'm with it. 3 and 4, good. 3, 4, 5. Really, I think that's Bengals. I don't.
Yes, I would agree that they pick up back to back.
Yeah. Seahawks coming off a bye. Bengals.
I think this is a losable game for Cincinnati at home, just because Seattle's coming off of the bye. I think this is a losable game.
I'm with it. I feel like that. I feel like they could. So let's go Seahawks here. I think that's fair. Coming off the bye. You gotta give it back to them though.
But my issue is San
the
Francisco.
Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, Garrett.
But San Francisco's a better team.
San Francisco's not going to go 17-0.
Let's circle back.
You got all right.
Let's circle back.
Because what I was going to do,
this schedule gets rough for Cincinnati. Ooh, this is really rough for Cincinnati.
I was going to give the Bengals the 49ers game. I was going to give them a loss on the Bills. Mm-hmm.
So they drop back-to-back home games?
Happens.
Dude, Cincinnati has a tough schedule this year. Good Lord.
We can wait on 8-9. We can wait on 8-9. I think they win week 10.
Yep.
Let's go week
12. 13 is a drop. They dropped that game on Monday night.
You think?
Yeah. Jacksonville's a real deal this year. Jacksonville
I'm on the Jacksonville train. But even if I think of Jacksonville's not going to win all of them either. Even though we're not doing Jacksonville right now.
That is true.
Where are they at? What's the record right now? We haven't even got halfway through. What's the record?
5-3.
5-3. Okay, 5-3. That's not horrible. Okay. Here, scroll all the way down. Let's just start. Let's scroll. Let's see here. What we got here? But I think they lose. They might lose the Chiefs game.
Let's do this. We can both agree that they win 14-15 against Indy and Minnesota, correct?
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Perfect. Did we both agree on the Jacksonville loss?
I'm iffy.
Okay.
Give him week 18. I'll give him week 18 too. Because if I give the Browns the week right here, so where are they at? We just added 3, so they're 8-3 now, right?
They're 8-3.
8-3. I think they can win out of how many games we got left? 6 games? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think they win. Like I said, for me, it was like they had to finish over the Ravens, right there. So that's 11 wins, and that's 3 wins out of 6.
I think they split the Pittsburgh series.
They might. I think they could. I'm okay with that. Like I don't know. My biggest thing is I don't know what the Steelers have potential. I just don't know what they're going to do. I have to see, and like the only thing that really holds them back for me is Matt Canada. If Matt Canada wasn't calling the plays, I'd be a little bit more excited about the Steelers' potential, but I just don't know for them. All right, so we split them, so it's 9-3.
I think they lose the Kansas City game.
I think so too.
So then it comes back to these 3, which we were kind of torn on.
They win 2 of them.
Cincinnati's currently sitting at 9-5.
They win 2 of them. They win 2 of them. And it's either that or I'm giving the Bengals the sweep over the Steelers.
They're not. No, they're not doing that. I think they lose to San Francisco, beat. See, this is a problem because I genuinely think they lose to San Francisco, beat Buffalo, lose to Jacksonville, which puts them at 10-7.
That's cool. They beat the Steelers in Week 16.
They don't beat the Steelers.
You can't be as confident into
can.
that one. You can't when you have the 49ers, the Bills, and the Jaguars, and then you say, yeah, but the Steelers are part of that group too. No, like if they're gonna lose 2 out of these 3 right here, they beat the Steelers, and that's not crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I just don't think it happens. I don't think it happens.
I don't think they lose 2 of the 3 here.
So then how does it shake out for you then?
I will let you pick those 2 that you said they will lose right there, but they beat the Steelers in. They sweep the Steelers.
I just don't. I don't think it's crazy that Cincinnati finishes the year 10-7. I don't think it's crazy.
It's 11-6.
I don't think so.
It's 11-6. If it wasn't the Steelers, we would have no problem with that. All right.
There.
Okay.
They're now 11-6.
You didn't want to give him the win.
No.
Not over the Steelers.
No, because I don't think that they beat the Steelers on the road in December. That's December?
Out of those 4 games, it's less likely that the Steelers beat the Bengals. I will tell you that. Can you agree on that?
No, you hating. All right, we're moving on to Cincinnati next. Or Cleveland next.
All right. Okay. All right. We already got some games picked out here. I'll give you the Steelers Week 2.
I agree with
Easy
that.
money.
On Monday night.
Okay. Glad we agree.
They beat Tennessee. They lose to San Francisco at home.
What I know, and I know this isn't part of the video, but what do we think Tennessee's at? Roughly, ballpark, wins.
What they finished the year at?
Yeah.
Like they're 7-10.
Okay. I'm cool with that. I was just curious.
I think their ceiling, I think at their peak, they can be a 9-8 team. But their floor is probably 6-11. Like this,
I would say their ceiling's about 8. I would say their floor is about 5. That's where I'm at. So
I don't hate it.
We have the same amount of difference, just you're 1 up and I'm 1 down. So I'm cool with it.
Cleveland is coming off of an early
49ers
bye.
have to lose games, right? The 49ers have to lose. Okay. Go. AFC North video, I get it. Go to the 49ers. Let's spend 30 seconds on the 49ers schedule. I just want to look at it. Okay. Go ahead and scroll. Keep going. Damn.
Do you want me to run through it really quick in my head? What I'm thinking?
They don't lose that many.
Bold
right,
prediction. I'll just give you my bold prediction. Bold prediction: they drop Week 1 to Pittsburgh, and I'm not saying that because I'm a biased. No, listen. I have factual evidence behind this. Listen to me. Pittsburgh has won the last 4 Week 1 matchups. Their last 2 was on the road in Buffalo, a 7.5-point underdog, and they won. Last year, I believe they were on the road in Cincinnati. They played Cincinnati regardless, 7.5-point underdog. They also won that game as well. And now they're at home. They're going to be a home dog Week 1. I'm hammering Pittsburgh Week 1.
So you're telling me that it was too far-fetched for the Bengals and the Ravens to beat the 49ers. But we're going to give the Steelers a win.
Yes, I am.
Go back to Cleveland. Go back to
The
Cleveland.
data is on my side. The data is on my side. Here, you know what? I'll give you the spread right now. I'll give you the spread right now.
I don't care about it.
They're underdogs. They're home dogs.
Garrett, do you know how crazy I would sound if I brought up every Raiders stat that gave me a legitimate chance to have hope?
I was going to be toxic, but I'm not going to. So let's get back to the video. Let's get back on track.
I saw it. I just want you to know I saw it. And then he was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't, but I saw it. I just want you to know I saw it.
It almost came out. All
right. I don't know. I do like teams coming off the bye. I don't think the Browns are good enough, though. I don't know. That's a toss-up for me. The 49ers, the NFC West one is going to be good. You good?
So how am I getting flamed?
For what?
You telling me, you just said you don't think Cleveland is good enough to beat San Francisco, yet I'm getting flamed for saying Pittsburgh wins the Week 1 home opener.
Garrett, I don't know how to tell you this. I like the Browns more than the Steelers.
So, but they're not good enough.
They're not good enough to beat the 49ers. No, that's what I just said.
This is absurd.
I was gonna pick the 49ers over the Steelers though.
Cleveland.
You cut out for me. What'd you say?
We're in agreement that San Francisco beats Cleveland.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
All I said is I like teams off the bye, but I don't think the Browns are good enough to beat the 49ers.
Okay.
Okay.
Seven should be easy. 7 should be easy. 9 should be easy.
Is it though? The Colts aren't a bad team, and I'm still shaky. Like I said, we're in agreement that the Browns are in a shaky spot. They have talent, they have potential, but it really depends on Watson. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go 7. We'll go 7 Browns. I think we're going to give the win to the Seahawks here.
Yes.
9 is the Browns.
Yep. They split against Pittsburgh.
Fine.
Wait. Yeah, no, I had that wrong.
Yeah, fucking no. You picked the wrong.
You see how I tried to slide that?
Yeah, you're trying to pull a fast one. I was watching. I was like, wait a minute.
Something's going on up here.
So we'll go Broncos week 12.
For that bold. For context, Cleveland's currently sitting at 6-5.
I'll go Broncos week 12.
Oh, golly.
That's not crazy.
I just don't like the Broncos at all.
What do you mean? You can keep up with them.
That's why I don't like them.
Oh.
Because I know what's going on.
I don't know.
I just don't. I don't have confidence in this roster. I don't have confidence in Russ.
I think Russ will be a lot better.
They lost Evero, their defensive coordinator, last year too.
Russ, as bad as it seemed like he wasn't as bad as people. It was not Russ. It
wasn't the Russ we're used to.
Correct, but I mean, Sean Payton, even though he walked back on it, and it's kind of that we have a post on that as well on the site Vendetta Sports Media, but even though he walked back on it, Sean Payton was completely like Nathaniel Hackett probably did one of the worst head coaching jobs ever. Like that shit was horrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't give Russ a full. I can't say, you know what, he's lost it until I see a credible head coach like Sean Payton go. And Sean Payton is no business. Like he's no bullshit kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? especially looking at the rest of the roster, I feel like giving Week 12 to the Broncos is not crazy, and I think that's a good win for the Broncos.
This just doesn't set up very well for Cleveland because I see some trap games in here for Cleveland, and I'm not 100%
I think
confident they
Week
get to
12 is the trap
500.
game. I think Week 12 is a trap game.
All right, I'll do Denver.
I think 13 they win, 14 they lose.
I think we're entering back-to-back trap games. I want to say this. I don't have 100% faith in the Bears. I think the roster is not great. The defense, their front seven is awful. It's terrible. It's probably the worst in the league. Justin Fields, I am not 100% sold on. The weapons aren't great. I know they traded for DJ Moore, and he's good, but it's Justin Fields has to get him the ball, and that concerns me. However, I think that they might be looking to. He's not a very good passer.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna let you cook, but I don't think that's true.
Justin Fields is not. I mean, a part of it could be that he didn't really have a ton of time, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't. I don't have 100% faith in him as it stands as a passer.
I think he's a better passer than Lamar Jackson. We just talked about Lamar Jackson not having a fair shake. And Garrett, I'm gonna tell you right now. I saw you post a video of Sam Howell throwing absolute dimes today, right? Threw a beautiful dime. Guess what? Justin Fields threw a nice dime to DJ Moore today as well. There's been a lot of videos. I'm just saying.
I know.
Okay.
I get it. I get it.
All right.
I will say, I am steadfast on Week 16. They lose to Houston. That's their trap game, and they lose on the road to Houston. Houston's got to win games, and we just talked about.
I think they will win games. I don't think they win.
You and I are high on Houston this year in terms of being competitive. They're going to steal games. I think this is a game they can
Correct.
steal.
I don't think the Browns are 8-19. I think they're at least 9-8. That's my thinking. My thinking right here: win, lose.
Yeah, because it is a short week against the Jets. That's fine, but I want the record to show that I will be betting Houston Week 16 to win. I'm betting.
You keep trying to pull past ones. Do you see this Week 16? You're seeing if I'm paying attention, and I am. Right? You keep trying to pull past, and I'm like.
That's crazy. All right.
And don't get me wrong, I'm with you on the Houston Texans, and when we do the AFC South, I'll show them love, but there's going to be games, like that. I think being in the AFC South, they're going to win more games that way too. That's my thinking on that. All right, Steelers. Well, I'm gonna skip Week 1.
We have to because I'm 100% confident that they can steal this game.
Week 3 go Steelers.
That's probably right.
I think the Texans steal Week 4.
That's fucking absurd. That's absurd.
You just said they could steal games. What is the problem?
That's absurd. Okay, no, listen. The only reason I think that this is a trap game. I'm saying it could be a trap game because in this scenario, I have Pittsburgh starting the year 3-0. If they drop the first game, they're still 2-1. They're still above 500. This is very much a trap game. The only reason I was confident in picking Houston in Week 16 against Cleveland against Week 4 here in Pittsburgh is because C.J. Watson will have 15 weeks of experience under his belt, and this will only be his 4th game against a really good coach and a really good defense. This will be a low-scoring game.
Going into the bye after 5 weeks, the Steelers are not 5-0. But I don't think they lose the Texans game.
Manly really gonna start the year 5-0. That's crazy.
That's not gonna happen.
For the video, so we can keep it moving, I'm gonna pick 49ers, but they're not losing this game. And they're winning against Houston.
Fine, I'm good. Off the bye Steelers against the Rams. That should be a blowout.
They dropped the game to Jacksonville.
I'm cool with that.
They win against Tennessee.
Okay.
Trap game against Green Bay. Mini bye week though, and Tomlin's good off of an extended stretch. I think this is a close one. I would lean Pittsburgh, but I wouldn't be shocked if they dropped this game.
I'll go Pittsburgh. Where are we at with Pittsburgh? They're 8-5. Okay.
They're currently 8-5.
They win.
This is another trap game.
I
would feel comfortable if they dropped this one on a short week to Belichick, but I don't think it'll happen because who knows what's going on with this roster. But crazier things have happened. I don't know if I'm 100% banking on New England to win this one, but this is another one where I'm not shocked.
You know what? I think New England, you could say what we want about Bill Belichick and his, roster building, but if there's anything, he kills young quarterbacks. He eats those guys for dinner. And if anything's going to show up, the Patriots might score 6 points, 2 field goals, and somehow they might pull that game off just because they might put Kenny Pickett in a world of hurt. That's my thinking. Is that Bill Belichick can have, when he goes against young QBs, he's gonna make them the hard. Because you're not gonna like this, and I'm already kind of looking at the record, and I don't think Pittsburgh is a confident 10-7 team. And so I think they'll lose the Patriots and the Seahawks, and I'll give them the Colts. And that gives them that 10-7.
I had it the other way around. I think they pick up the short week, but drop the game, a trap game to Indianapolis, lose to Seattle to get the 10-7.
I'm fine with that. I will take that. But I will say, yeah, don't you say I saw it. You were moving over.
I thought about it.
I want to put it on the record that I don't think they're a 10-7 team. I think they're 9-8. I think they're in the same tier as the Browns. I think the Browns can finish 8 or 9, 9-8, and I have the same for the Steelers. But the way it worked out, at least on this video, they're going to be 10-7. So that's not. I don't feel like. Scroll down to the AFC North for me right here. That's not a bad thing. I think that's very believable. 11-6 right here. Bengals have a lot of tough opponents right here.
The Bengals schedule is brutal.
And I think 11-6 is fair for them right there. Could they be and really those tough games were like, it's close, we're gonna give you a loss, but I really think those are toss-ups, of course, because they're a really good team and they can win those games. 10-7 for the Ravens, a better Ravens team this year with all eyes on Lamar Jackson. 10-7 for the Steelers, even though I think the Browns finished better than the Steelers. Garrett does not agree with me, and I knew that coming into this thing. But I do think they're neck and neck right here. I would put the Steelers at 9-8, Browns 9-8, 8-9, Steelers 8-9 as well. But I'm okay with this. I can live with this. Then I am rooting for you. Just know that I'm rooting for you. Okay, that's how I think this shakes out. I don't think this is bad. I think this is a good first video for us. I think this is very respectable. I don't think anyone should be coming for our throats. What? Pause. No, but I don't think anyone should be going crazy over this. I mean, maybe the Browns fans, but who listens to Browns fans anyway?
I don't even think they're real, to be honest. I've never met a Browns fan in real life.
I have neither. I see them on Twitter though. Maybe they're trolls. Maybe they're just.
They might be bots. They might be bots.
They might.
Listen, conspiracy theory: are the fans at Paul Brown Stadium every single week? Are they paid actors? Find out next week. I don't know. I've never met one in real life. I've never.
Let's get a short on that. 49-30 right there, getting ready to get a short on that. Garrett calls the Browns fans paid actors.
Paid actors.
Beautiful.
Not real. Never met one.
But I feel like this is a very good video. We should have about 7 more of these of doing all the other divisions. So if we didn't reach your team this time, we will reach your team some other time, obviously, in one of these videos. So be on the lookout for that. The easiest way to do that is probably to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Vendetta Sports Media, right there. Subscribe. Also check out the site right here, vendettasportsmedia.com. We are on Newsbreak now. And, you know, if you have the Newsbreak app or you want to download it, follow our profile. We'll see every post that we have on there as well. Garrett, any last thoughts before we close this out?
Pittsburgh could win the division this year. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Never mind. Just close it. Cut it now. Get them out of here. There's only room for one biased fan in here, and my team's not in this thing, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay. Anyway, it left an awful taste in my mouth when you said that. That left an awful taste in my mouth.
Hey,
anyway,
you said one last thought. That's my last thought.
I didn't think it would be like that. That's like me talking. That's like me saying we could beat the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's crazy.
All right. Well, you know, you're kind of crazy, so of course you don't think that's crazy. Okay. Anyway, that's the AFC North. Stay tuned for the other divisions. Vendetta Sports Media, we're out. Later.